Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RIC Day Tuesday. Aside from Dr. Georgine and Dr. Salvador, another special guest will be joining us today. It is with pride and honor that I introduce to you to our special guest. He is an honorary fellow and Doctor Fellow of the Royal Institution, Singapore. He held various positions in the government, including the chairman of the board of Maritime Industry Authority, Metro Manila Transit Corporation, Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Light Rail Transit Authority, Philippine National Railways, and Philippine Ports Authority from 1986 to 1987. He served as Batangas board member from 1980 to 1984, a member of Parliament of Regular Batasan Pambansa from 1984 to 1986, and designated by the former Philippine President Corazon Aquino as Secretary of the Department of Transportation and Communications. In addition, he served as a congressman in the 2nd District of Batangas from 1987 to 1998 as chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, a minority leader, and a deputy speaker. In 2001, he was then appointed as Secretary of the Department of Justice of the Republic of the Philippines under the administration of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Currently, he is the president of the University of Batangas, concurrent to his position as Dean Emeritus and Professor of the UB College of Law. On top of being the university president, he is also known as a prominent law professor. He is a professor at the College of Law of Ateneo de Manila University, Angeles University Foundation, De La Salle University, Far Eastern University Consortium, a bar reviewer of various universities in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Honorable Dr. Fellow Attorney Dr. Hernando B. Perez. Hi, sir. How are you? Hope you're doing well.
Afternoon.
How are you doing? How are you
I'm
doing?
well. Staying at home.
Okay, sir. So thank you po for joining us today. So the goal of this interview po is to open up the discourse surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. So we want to reiterate that the COVID-19 situation continues to have huge effects on the current state of the world. So even though we are isolated from each other, we hope that through proper communication of pertinent information, we can be better informed, aware, and mindful of the situation.
So how is everything in Batangas? In the region?
We are okay, speaking, better than the rest of the country. Let me just give you a report nationwide. All over the country, there are 5,878 confirmed cases of COVID-19. There are 387 deaths, and there are 487 recoveries. In Batangas, we have 73 confirmed cases, 16 recoveries, and 13 deaths. So we are still lucky here in the province, and we are still in the province more obedient than those in Metro Manila. Most of the cases, confirmed cases, are in Metro Manila because in some areas, the people there do not respect the policy, and instead they gamble in the streets, they hold boxing contests in the streets, and all of this would affect the program of the government. They even held rallies to force the government to give more aids. While here in Batangas, the people are more obedient, which probably accounts for lesser confirmed cases of COVID-19.
Okay, sir. So thank you for that one po. So, sir, as a professional, what are the things from your field that you could apply to prevent the spreading of this virus?
I have a lot of professions. But I only speak my profession as a professor, as a university president.
Yes.
What we are doing in order to help in this campaign is that we are holding classes online or via internet. I give lectures to my law students via internet, and I've just given term examination also via the internet. However, some people do not understand the sacrifices that the faculty are doing for that. There was one student with he or she, his or her name, although I have an idea as to who the student might be. The complaint is that she does not have internet connection in her place. So when I give lecture, only those who have internet connections are benefiting from that. You know, the funny part is they were able to take the exam, even if they complain that they have no internet connection. So I was wondering, if they have no internet connection, how were they able to take the exam? So I am thinking that perhaps this student does not want to further her studies or his studies and would like only to pass without going through or listening to the lectures or taking the exam.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what we are doing. Online teaching and internet. In the coming summer classes, we are going to open it for summer classes of selected subjects and open only to those with internet connection. Because internet connection, I don't see how we could deliver what we are supposed to give if there is no internet connection whatsoever. The sad reality here is that there are some areas with no connection at all. So in order to get some connection, I think they buy uh, uh, for loads in the messenger. I think that's what they do. But ultimately, when they are forced, they are able to get connection, notwithstanding the complaint.
Dr. Perez, this online classes that you mentioned was during this COVID-19. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, that's correct. We started it during the COVID-19 incident,
Okay.
and but before, you remember we had the eruption here, the volcano erupted. That affected some students, but we were able to go through with through element uh, through the internet also. But now with COVID-19, it is more intensified. Online teaching only.
It's good to hear that University of Batangas is prepared for this online learning already.
We are forced. We are forced to learn.
Yes.
You know the problem. The more senior faculty members, my generation, are not really technical people. Many of us do not know how to use the internet. I am lucky that early on, after I retired from the government, I tried to learn how to use the internet. But others, retired judges, retired justices who are teaching, uh, are finding difficulty in accessing the internet.
Yes, sir. So thank you po. So for our next question, sir. So would you share some of your realizations or discernments as to how this pandemic affected the people, the individual, the families, the government, our country, our economy, and the world as a whole?
Well, it affected all of us. The effect is more so for those who are daily wage earners. Those who are daily wage earners are under the policy of no work, no pay. So if they don't work, they don't get paid. In the University of Batangas, we are still lucky. We are still paying the salary of our faculty and our employees, at least up to the end of April. By May, I don't know what I will do because we don't earn, and it is my moral responsibility to provide for the funds uh, to sustain our faculty members and our employees. They have nowhere else to go. Aside from giving salaries to our faculty and employees, we give them rice and we will give them also canned goods. It's only that we cannot buy canned goods now because there was scarcity. We were supposed to make deliveries this 15th of the month of April, but we were unable to buy. The reservation that we had with a supermarket was canceled because the local government bought all the canned goods. So we have nothing to give to our employees, but we will be able to get some. And after sourcing it, we will be able to give another support for our employees. Now, the problem is not only our employees, but the parents of our students. Many of them are not getting any salaries at all. Those who are abroad, they're not working because their offices closed. And there is difficulty. So I suppose the economy is in the downtrend because there's no work at all. The only work being done is minimal for those who are selling food stuff, and aside from that, nothing more. And I don't know for how long it will continue. The president made an announcement. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to get the funds to give to the people. You know, that's how I feel also. I don't know where to get the funds to give to our employees and our faculty after April. I don't know. We're trying to borrow money from the banks, but they have closed the lending facilities. I don't know where I will get the money. It is really very, very difficult. So that's the problem. The problem is no income. When there's no income, the economy is down. And when the economy is down, the government is finding difficulty in providing for the people.
Yes, sir. So would you share us po, or would you give us your personal advice as to how we should handle this kind of crisis?
We should cooperate with one another. We should consider also that every time we expose ourselves to a possible disease, we are endangering all the people around us. So it is better to stay at home and use the internet to its extent. Go out only when it is absolutely necessary. If it's not necessary, we should stay at home. And, you know, I miss my farm. In the farm, if I were at the farm, I'll be very happy because I have a large tract of land where I can plant. But I'm here in my residence in Batangas City, and although I have a very small lot, I plant vegetables. I plant those in vegetables and whatever is edible. Uh, I'm about to eat leaves of mulberry trees because that's what I abundant in my lot. Uh, I think it's nice. I will try mulberry leaves salad. That's the most that I can do. So we should sacrifice and for the future think of our colleagues. Have concern for our people. Also, those who are living in depressed areas, they have nowhere to plant. They're planting in discarded bottles, but that will do. But in Metro Manila, the life is a lot harder, very, very hard, especially in congested, depressed areas. I am glad that there are very few places in Batangas uh, which we consider to be highly congested and depressed.
Yes, sir. So, in your experience po in the government, do you have a previous experience before, like this one, like SARS, for example, and what are the preparations or what were the responses from the government have you made or made part of during your term as Secretary of Justice and DOT?
I have been lucky during the time when I was a cabinet member, whether as Secretary of Transportation and Communication or Secretary of Justice, there was no epidemic at all. Even when I was Secretary of Transportation and Communication, no vessel sunk, no airplane crashed, no train was derailed. I was lucky. Now we have lots of problems. It started with the eruption of a volcano, followed by uh, this African swine fever, and then followed by COVID-19.